on just that small sample there. We need to do 100 obviously, but it'll be interesting to see if they come out much more profitable, because that's at the moment the most profitable way to trade it, using the swing high or low. The trailing profit is still doing well, and the support resistance is matching that. So it will be a case of adding more data to determine which one's the most profitable. And the other thing we can add to the strategy is the ability to be able to have a fixed target. So you can see here that early indications are that the fixed target of 25 points is the most profitable way to trade it. But I know from testing that over time, the most profitable way to trade the strategy is to have a trailing stop, and we'll see how this 100 trades comes out once we finish that as well. So all stuff that we can kind of quickly test up. Now I'll go back to what I was talking about before. So if you do find that you've got some great ideas for improving the performance of the strategy, you just need to, as I said, just confirm it up, and then we'll add that to it. So the fixed target is probably something that will go in as a mandatory anyway. So I think the fixed targets will be something we'll look at anyway. Yeah. So the previous high, previous low. So those three definitely. Well, I'll have that data finished by probably Thursday, Friday. By Monday. So I'll be able to report back to the group and tell you exactly how it's gone over those 100 trades, because there's 200 trades logged there as part of the strategy, and then we can go about kind of building a little bit extra on the trend trader, because that's a great result with really no optimizing. So if you think about this strategy on crude, there's been no money management added to that, so there's no fixed ratio or no money management, and there's been absolutely no filters on it. So there's no trades taken out at key levels, trades taken out in news. So there's a lot of things we can do to just really kind of bed that strategy down so it's really, really working well. So that's the process we're going to go through. So your job or your task for the next week is to determine which markets you want to test up and which strategy we want to use, because we're only starting with one strategy, one market initially, and just to come back to me with basically just this strategy test done. So all you need to do is provide me with a strategy report, and it's as simple as, once you get the report set up and you've done your testing, then you just save it as an Excel document. So it needs to go down to here in Microsoft Excel, save it as your report, and then send that to us, and that's job done for task 1. So the group, I'll do a recap of what task 1 will be, but basically that will give us a good starting point for us moving forward. May want to add something there initially, and then I'm going to jump over and give you some settings for the DAX, and I'll be emailing out some settings for the Euro futures, because I've already had a couple of settings come back for the Euro futures that look really good. So they'll be getting emailed out, and they'll go in the updated manual as well. But just on the DAX, for those of you who are swing traders and like to track and trade the swing trading strategy, I'll just make sure this is the trend trader. We'll stick with the trend trader here initially, because that's the one that we're all concentrating on and we've all kind of started learning together. So we'll just stick with that one just for now. But basically, this is the trend trader on the DAX at 987. So we know if it's geared at the higher tick chart, it's going to be a slower mover, and it's going to trade over multiple sessions. Now this one here is tracking particularly well. they're the settings I've got for it. I don't think I've got this in the manual, but I will put it in there, and I'll also send it out to the group as well. So this is for the session 801 to 1226. It's running a 19 initial stop of 19 ticks. It's got a -1 offset, so it means it trails by -1. So if we go to performance summary, you'll see that you'll see here that the total net profit 16,674. But the thing I like about this is the average winning trade. The average trade net profit is 150. And the one thing that we'll find as well with our strategies is we've always got to be looking at this max drawdown, because our goal as we start building this is to basically have strategies like 1, 2, 3, 4 strategies that have the ability to reduce the maximum drawdown. So if you think about your trading and you think about your trading day as a series of winning and losing days and profitable and unprofitable days, well, our goal is to have systems that are balancing each other out. So instead of having a strategy that trading one market and trading say 4 contracts, you might trade one market with 4 contracts over 4 different strategies. So you've got that spread of risk, and that was clearly shown in the with a multi-system strategy. So that's our end game, to build strategies that work together to reduce our maximum drawdown. And I'll just quickly run through this. For those of you who haven't seen this before, I'm going to show it to you now. Basically, this is the example on the DAX about having the multi-system strategy running. So just focus in mainly on the drawdown here. You've got 4,522 as its drawdown. So this strategy is the trend trader on the 202. Some of you will have already loaded the settings up on this one, and that's a great kind of idea to if you are tracking these strategies, to load them up, even if you're kind of simming them along. Now the drawdown on this one is 4522. The net profit was 17942. Now, having traded that strategy, you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm making some profit, I want to add a second strategy or second market. So then what happens is that you decide, right, well, I'm going to add a second strategy. So I go to the 610, adding a cycle trader, so a different strategy. So it's not like the trend trader where we're looking for momentum and a breakout. We're actually trading, buying support, selling resistance. By adding this strategy here, you're actually, the drawdown on this one, the worst performance it's had is 3,583. The net profit is 17,135. So what do you think will happen if we combine these two strategies together and trade them at the one time? Will our drawdown occur at the same time on these two strategies? Will we have the same losing day and same losing drawdown? Or will we add the drawdown together, or will it be a case of working out when that drawdown occurs and whether that drawdown is more or less than on the one strategy as opposed to combining them? Because remembering that if we're trading two different strategies and we're trading on the DAX, for example, if we're not winning on a trend or a momentum type strategy, we definitely should be doing some reasonable performance on a cycle type range bound strategy. So the idea is to have them both working together almost as a hedge. So what you'll find is that as we add different markets, we get different drawdown amounts. So we add a third strategy here, which is the breakout, and that actually has a higher drawdown. So that's coming with a higher drawdown, slightly more profit. We then add a fourth strategy. We've got a drawdown there of 6,570. Our net profit is substantially higher on that one, which is great. And our fifth strategy there has a drawdown of 6,137, and its net profit was 13,253. Now, if we add all of the net profit together on these strategies, we end up with about 80,000 euro. Now, what we do is we don't add the net profit on the drawdown, sorry, we don't add the drawdown together. What we do is we put these trades side by side against each other, and we work out how these strategies are running together. And what we do then is we say, right, well, what is the maximum drawdown by combining all strategies together? And what I found was that by combining the strategies, your maximum drawdown is actually only €6,813. So if you traded every strategy, all 5 of these strategies together, your max drawdown is 6,800. If you just traded the one strategy, so the 987, you've got exactly the same maximum drawdown. Now the difference here is the key to this whole thing is that, and the reason why the multi-system strategy works is that you're basically making money on the 987, which is €25,000. That's great, but there'll be times when you're not making money when the strategy is in drawdown. But the net profit on these other strategies is actually going into your account as well, because you're trading every strategy at the same time, but you're not actually increasing your risk. So you're getting the advantage of the profit potential on every system and every strategy, but you're taking absolutely no more risk in the trades. In fact, it's €300 more risk on the overall portfolio account. So if you traded each one of these with a 40,000 or €40 account, you would actually add €300 more risk and add around about, say, what have you got, €55,000 more profit. So you can see the example of it is reflected in this the equity graph here. Once we get out of this loop that I'm in, you'll see the difference there. So each strategy on its own is profitable, and that's fantastic, but by having multiple strategies on the one market, and obviously if we have a strategy on another market, that's going to help us as well, because what it's doing is it's reducing out the key to this whole process, and the reason why we want people testing markets and sharing ideas and settings and getting different strategies running well, is that our focus is there's 2 keys to this. Number one is our focus is reducing our maximum drawdown, being able to continually run a profitable trading portfolio. The only way to do that is to have systems that are working all of the time. And the reality is that we know as traders, systems don't work all the time. You know, if you've got one system, one market, it's not going to work all the time. You can guarantee that, and we've seen it every year that we've traded. So our goal is to have a situation where we've got 3 or 4 strategies running on one market or across multiple markets, and where instead of us being here, where we go, you know, we have a winners, losers, where we hit a bit of a rough patch, no money's made, get a bit of a spurt on through a couple of months of trading, then we go flat again. You know, this is really a tough road when you're, you know, trade for 3 or 4 months and don't make any profit and go backwards, then suddenly get a little bit of a volatility rush, price pushes up. Yeah, you're making money, but it's a slow grind over a 12-month period. Don't you want to be sitting in this position here where, you know, that your net profit is growing exponentially, and you're also taking advantage of pretty much profitable months consistently? I mean, if you combine all of those strategies together, there hasn't really been a losing month. There's been a flat month, but no losing month. So that's there was a bit of a dip here, sorry. There was one losing month. So that certainly does beat this period here where there's no profit, and beats this period here where there's 0 profit as well. So that having been said, that's also without any money management, with any position sizing, money management. So those figures are based on 0 money management at all. So if we add money management to that process, we're going to do exceptionally well. So traders, tonight the focus tonight was really on getting you kind of warmed up or